X is our major axis. What is our A then? 7. And what is our B? 2. Our center is still at 0, 0. Okay, so we know that X is the major. We know that the foci is on X. So we go 0. And then, so again, which way is the 7? Do I go left and right 7 or up and down 7? Left and right 7. 7 this way, 7 that way. 2 up, 2 down. Super stretched. Something like that. All right. Any questions there on that? Our foci. Okay, let's go ahead and figure out what our foci is. So, Carla, what is our equation again to find the foci, to find C? All right, correct. So we plug that in. We get 49 minus 4. So, Carla, what is our C then? So C squared is 45. So if I square root both sides, what do I get for C? Okay, yeah, exactly. Square root of 45 is between 6 and 7, right? Square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 36 is 6. Between 6 and 7, a little bit closer to 7. So let's just go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a little bit more than halfway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a little bit more than halfway. That is our focus point, F1 and F2. Those are our two foci. Notice it's very close to the edge because it's really stretched out. For number 6, where is our center here? It's going to be 5, 6. Good. 5, 6. Let's just do this one together. Our center is 5, 6. X is our major axis. Ladies and gentlemen, what is our A here if this is 4? A is 2. What's our B? B is square root of 1, which is 1. So we can graph that. All right, we're not going to do the foci. Let's just graph this. So 5, 6. Go ahead and graph that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our center. 5, 6. And we're going to go 2. We're going to go 2 in the X direction. 2 in the X direction. So 2 right, 2 left, 1 up, 1 down. Something like that. We won't worry about the foci for this one. I just wanted to show you one where you have a shift. The center is not 0, 0. You're not going to see any of these on your homework tonight. It's going to be coming up later. But I just wanted to give you a preview. The other interesting thing, as you finish this up, if you flip over to the back side, guys, the other interesting thing, we're not going to do it all the way through either. If you see a problem like this, look at number 8. This is an ellipse. This is what we're going to be doing on the last assignment. But what you can do is, this does not look like an ellipse. We can force it to look like an ellipse. First off, what number do we usually like to have over here for an ellipse? You like to have a number 1. So let's move this 36 over there. Add 36 to both sides. You're going to get 4x squared plus 9y squared equals 36. All right, that looks a little bit better. Who can raise their hand and tell me what I should do to make it look fully like an ellipse? What should I do to kind of put this into the standard form of an ellipse? What can I do algebraically? Who knows? If you subtract 35, that's one idea, but then you're going to have this random 35 here. Trang, what could I do? What could I divide by, Trang? What could I divide by? 4 would keep this as a 9. I want to turn this into a 1. So what could I divide by to turn this into a 1, Trang? Divide this by 6 and turn it into a 6. What can I divide by to turn that into a 1? 36. Exactly. You divide everything by 36. Right? You can do that. You can divide everything by 36. Watch what happens here. This just becomes a 1. So you get 1. 4 over 36. So cross off 4, guys. If you divide both top and bottom, numerator and denominator by 4, this becomes 1. And what's 36 divided by 4? 9. So we get x squared over 9 plus, if we divide top and bottom, numerator and denominator by 9, 9 divided by 9 is 1. What's 36 divided by 9? 4. Doesn't this look like something you can graph now? This is the standard form. So you probably have a couple of this on your homework tonight. The key is to remember, all you got to do, move the 36 over, and then just divide to make this into a 1. We're given this information, vertices and co-vertices. If you remember back, you don't have to take it out. Vertices are the ends of the major axis. Vertices are my A. Co-vertices are of from the center length B. And foci, guys, foci, of course, is our length C. So just remember that. Vertices A, co-vertices B, foci C. So knowing that, and just assume, let's assume, guys, that the center, is 0, 0. So my vertices, the key thing, ladies and gentlemen, my vertices represent, again, what letter, guys? A, B, or C? A, B, or C. It is my major axis. It's the distance to the major axis. That's A. Co-vertices represents the distance from the center to the minor axis. That is my B. So I have A and B. Just that's very key. Think about what information you're given. Sometimes you're given A, sometimes B, sometimes C. Now let's think about the only other key information is who is the major axis, guys? Look at this vertice. Look at this vertice. You can graph it if you want. You don't have to, but it kind of helps sometimes. You got 10, 0, 10, 0, and negative 10, 0. So that'd be like over here. You don't have to graph it. In fact, I usually don't. But if you do it like this, and this is 0, 5, 0, negative 5, you can see that, guys, who is my major axis? X or Y? X. But you don't need this. In fact, I never draw it like this. You just say, all right, who is involved here with the vertices? Oh, it's my X, right? Notice that there's nothing involved in Y. Y is just 0. So X is my major axis, right? X is my major axis. Let's write that. X is the major axis. So X is the major axis, which means that X gets the A. Well, we'll say A squared, really. X gets the A squared. All right, so let's figure this out. We've got, we know that A equals, remember A is the distance from the center to the vertices. What is my distance from the center out, guys? What length is that? 10, right? And you don't need the graph. You just say, okay, that's 10. B is the distance from the center to one of the minor axis, which is the co-vertice, 5. C, we don't need. We don't need. That's it. So we're going to say, all right, x squared over blank, let's leave it blank for a second, plus y squared over blank equals, and then ellipse always equals what, ladies and gentlemen? 1. Again, it's x squared. We're not, our center is always at 0, 0 for these problems right, for now. So don't worry about x minus h, y minus k, just like this. So again, guys, who gets the A, x or y? X gets the A because x is the major axis. So x gets a squared. So a squared, 10 squared. This guy gets the b squared, 5 squared. So if we want to simplify this, we get x squared over 100 plus y squared over 25 equals 1. X squared over 100 plus y squared over 25 equals 1. No, sorry, it's just 10. That's a pen mark. All right, well, why don't we try one more together before you try one. Number 11. Let's look at this one. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not draw a graph here. Just think about this. Vertices, again, represents my major axis. Vertices represents which letter? A, the distance from the center to this vertice. Co-vertices represented by the letter B. So we got A and B. Who is my A? What axis is my major axis, guys? X or Y? Who is involved? The Y is involved here. So Y is my major axis. Y is my major axis. Does anybody need me to explain that again? Because it's kind of weird. Okay. Y is my major axis, which means that Y gets my A. Y gets my A. Okay, Y gets the A. All right, and what is our A, guys? Our A is just 15. What is our B? 11. We don't need C because it's not involved in the formula. So let's go ahead and write it. X squared over blank plus Y squared over blank equals 1. I'll pause, let you catch up. Okay. Hopefully you've caught up. So guys, again, who is the major axis? Who gets the A, X or Y? Y gets the A, so Y gets my 15 squared. X gets my 11 squared, so it's X squared over 121 plus Y squared over 225 equals 1. Vertices, again, guys, what letter does vertices represent? A. Now the foci is not the covertices, it's not B. What letter represents the distance to the foci? It is C. So now we know that A equals 13, B equals, we don't know, C equals 5. A equals 13, B equals, we don't know, C equals 5. So let's go ahead and figure out, first off guys, looking at this one, who is my major axis? Is it X or Y? Y is our major axis. No problem. So Y gets the A. The problem is I don't have my B. Do we have a formula that relates A, B, and C? Yes. It is C squared equals A squared minus B squared. I was about to do a plus there. Thank you. So 5 squared equals 13 squared minus B squared. Why don't you guys finish up this problem to finish up today. I heard a couple correct answers. Anybody think they know what B is? Can we raise their hand and tell me it is an integer? Yes? 12. Who got 12 for B? 12 is correct. Excellent job here. 25 equals 169 minus B squared. I add B squared to both sides, but a lot of people divide by -1. That's perfectly fine. B squared equals 144, so B equals 12. There we go. So let's go ahead and write this out. So Y is my major axis, so we get X squared over blank plus Y squared over blank equals 1. So Y is the major axis. Y gets my A, so Y gets 13 squared. What is 13 squared again? 169. And this gets 12 squared, which is 144. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we learned in this last one, if I give you the foci C, you have to do a little bit of extra work, but it's the same idea.